our government pronounced that every motorcycle in this, operator should get a driver lesson. It should be a show, right? Yes. The insurance is for you and myself. When your motorbike is insured, in case of any eventuality or accident, the insurance company will take that problem on your head. If you have your lesson, if someone car hit you, even if you wrong me or I wrong you, if I wrong you or you wrong me and I do not have a driver lesson, I am not an authorized driver. So automatically you are right because you have a lesson to fly the street. I see other politicians want to put it aside, but for me, I have children. Not because my son are on motorbike today, I should tell them the wrong thing. So today, even though I'm not from Monserrado, I'm working in the country capital. My office in the country capital, which is Monrovia. I'm from Grand Chile. I'm elected by the people of Grand Chile County. I'm in the Landlord Senate. And I just said, most of you here.
It's a special day for us here in Ghana. The new president of Senegal, a young man who's now become so famous across the continent, has decided to pay us a visit to come and say hello, introduce himself to us, and continue the relationship, the excellent relationship that there is between Senegal and our country. So I'm very, very happy that President Bassirou Faye has found it possible to come and visit us today. It's a brief visit, but it's an important one. As you are aware, I went to his inauguration because of the history between our two countries, and also because his election was a source of reassurance to all of us who are interested in the democratic future of our region and of our continent. Because it appeared at one time as if Senegal's reputation as a country committed to the principles of democratic accountability, respect for human rights, rule of law, was being jeopardized. But fortunately, good sense prevailed, elections were held, and out of the elections, Mr. Bassirou Faye emerged as the clear, convincing winner of the elections. And the manner in which he ascended to the presidency has brought peace and unity to his country, and that again, that Senegal is going to play a very important role in the development of the ECOWAS community has now been fully confirmed. We're lucky in having a new leader in Senegal in place, because I think he's also going to help us try and resolve the big problem that we have in the ECOWAS community, and that is the purported departure of 3 of the key figures, key nations in ECOWAS: Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. And President Faye is very committed to seeing what he, together with the rest of us, can do to reach out and begin to revive the dialogue that would enable us to extend the hand of friendship and brotherhood to these 3 countries and find a way to bring them back within the ECOWAS community. It's a historically very important set of measures that we have to be taken to enable that to happen. So we're very happy to have you here, Mr. President, as I indicated to you.
Du fond du cœur, Monsieur le Président, et avec vous, le peuple ghanéen, amis et frères, pour l'accueil si convivial.
I thought it was only befitting for me to come here to visit you, to continue expressing our feelings of solidarity and fraternity with our sisters and brothers in the sub-region, in the region, and at continental level. I am here because Ghana and Senegal have a common destiny.
Par l'histoire, la géographie et appartenant au même espace communautaire, la CEDEAO.
So we need together to strive to achieve peace, security, stability, unity, and democracy. And it is very important for us to make sure that we succeed in our regional economic and political integration. And I would like, therefore, to
Okay. Good morning, folks. Good morning, wherever you are. This beautiful Tuesday morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you again with another edition of the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and we coming to you live on our various social media platforms. It's always a pleasure to wake up every morning to come here, sit behind this microphone to serve you very, very palatable breakfast. So, wherever you are and whatever you are doing this morning, welcome to it. We are here again. We've got a lot to talk about. A lot of trending happenings in the country. We'll be giving our perspectives about those happenings. And of course, soliciting your views. You're going to be given the opportunity to make your own input about some of those happenings in the country. My name is Yekezi Zwobel. As usual, I'm here alongside my colleague, Dennis Nipson. Dennis, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning as well, Yekezi, and it's good to be back on the Tuesday edition of the Today Show. We'd like to say welcome to all of our viewers, those listening to us via radio and also on the internet. We'd like to say welcome, share the video, invite someone to watch along, wherever you are following this program from. How was your night, Yekezi?
Yes, my night was great. LEC is always a problem. We slept in darkness last night in the Congo Town belt.
Even my end.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what was it caused, but I think it's been a while now. That hasn't happened, wherein LEC will just go off all through the night. But it's something that we kind of used to, whatever the case is. But the night was splendid.
Okay, thank God. And we are in the rainy season, so hope that LAC can be, can be regular. At least the rainy season, the water is trying to come.
LAC can be fluctuating. As soon as you see some more rain off, the
rain and the current can pull though. It's good to be back, and we have some of our colleagues who are celebrating birthday. Would like to, say happy birthday to them. We have Aaron Kuban, who is celebrating
his birthday.
We have
today.
Ada Reeves. We have Pekele Boape. Have James Karemu, who is also celebrating. All of them happens to be media, personalities from various radio stations and found themselves some in PR now. It's good to recognize them on this day that they are celebrating. All those who are also celebrating their birthday would like to say happy birthday to you. Do enjoy your birthday. Have a pleasant time. It's good to celebrate your birthday.
And I understand that Martin Colley is also celebrating his birthday today.
Yeah, they rescue Rambo.
Rescue Rambo.
I think someone I saw a comment and someone said the rescue Rambo. I think to handle the rescue Rambo.
Bamboo.
So, politics is so interesting, but I would like to say happy birthday to Martin Colley as well. He's a young man. I follow Martin, at the time he was just picking up with the advocacy. I remember this Bring By Your Money campaign, right? Yeah, he was the one hailing that, and I remember
25 million mob-up exercise.
Yes, I remember how we were in the ring on that day covering the protest, from one mission embassy to another, and we ended at the UN headquarters. I was one of those few journalists who entered with them at the UN headquarters to present their plight to the UN body. And yes, he had access, and they went at the time I was with Joy FM, and they went at Joy FM. They sat down there and all of that. But it's good to see that he has transitioned, to another level and has become the rescue Rambo, turning to the rescue Bamboo. How they can solve, their differences. That's politics. So,
I think I support people like Martin Colley. who are very sincere in their
Yeah.
politicking, even though they support a certain political party to come to power. But when that party comes to power, they don't become sycophantic to that particular government. Like others who do, like many of our politicians who do. But Martin Colley, even though he did support the Unity Party, we still see him, pointing out some of the ills within the government, some of the missteps that the government is taking. I think that's been sincere enough. That's been frank enough in politicking. That is barely seen in Liberia, especially among young politicians. You don't see them doing that. Once they support a certain political party and the party comes to power, whether the party does the wrong thing and the party is being criticized, they are there to defend all of the wrongs of the party. They become like a PR for the party. But I think Martin, in his advocacy and all of his dealings, I think he's putting country first, because the country is what we should prioritize. The growth and development of Liberia is what we should prioritize. So if we support a certain candidate, hoping that if that candidate comes to power, they will do well, and they're not doing well, or maybe they're doing some things well, but whenever they have lapses or they flunk somewhere, I think we should be there to tell them the fact, to speak the truth to them, to tell them both things that, hey, this decision isn't a good decision. Once we do that, we'll be putting the person on their guard. Yeah. So, and I kind of respect Martin Colley for that. But a lot of our young people around here, they're just seeking jobs, and trying to protect their jobs. Once, they get in government, they don't criticize, they don't see any ills, they become blinded to all of the things they criticized before in the past.
Yes, you have a point, but what I would like to disagree about is I think Mountain is trying to make a mess, his lapses. Because I said that to say, when you are an advocate, you don't get mixed up with politics. So be an advocate, advocating or activist, for the right of the people. You're not a politician, siding with a particular political party becomes that way that you have some lapses, your reputation and all those things that you stand for. Sometimes people question it, and I think that's where Mountain went. He had lapses along the way because he became partial in his activism, in his advocacy, and he was just focused on one party, in as much as the other side had their own shortcomings. He was just focused on the other end. So perhaps at this point in time that he wants to make a mess, he wants to stay now as an activist and no longer perhaps with political alliance to prefer the doings of a particular party. So it is good, I also, like you said, it is commendable to see that the length at which he went, to support this administration to come to power, and now he's being critical with them in their doings, especially recently with this 285 machines, the issue with perhaps the deputy presidential press secretary, qualification and all of that. So someone might say he's coming up now, and even with the asset recovery team speaking out and all of that, we hope to see that perhaps as an activist he can do more of that, standing for what he stands for and what an activist should be doing. Perhaps they will work on things to come back to the administration. But it is good to speak truth to power. When there are lapses, you talk about that, you put that be vocal about that and speak. One other person that I can give credit to as well that supported that could be Amara Kone as well.
Okay, Kone.
Speaking out, all of those ills that he found that are not perhaps necessary in the government.
Don't you think Amara Conan, feels rejected, or feels that the party, the Unity Party, Mr. Boaka is not giving him that chance to be in his inner circle. That's why he's being critical of the government, because he was on the Spoon Talk here on Sunday, and he did admit that he's not in the inner circle of the president, and he was asked whether he feels frustrated or disappointed about that. He said yes, he feels frustrated or and disappointed about that. So you don't want to think it's because it's outside the inner circle. Is because what he did expect from the government, the kind of influence he had anticipated to have, had within this government. He does not have it. That's why he's critical of this government.
Um, yeah, perhaps that would be a point as well. But he was a bit. He had to slow down a bit because from the onset of this administration, we saw the speed at which he was, carrying things, in terms of running with information, like the one, running the entire affairs of the government. When he took over, he spoke about the scholarship issue. It was like fast with all of the information, and at times, we also found out that there were split here and there, dissatisfaction with some of the hierarchies, the stalwarts, as to how he was proceeding, unilaterally without, the holistic view of others. So that alone slower his, zest and overwhelming posture that he had from the beginning. And seeing to that now, one may say he has been pushed away, because others have come into the picture and all of that. But I don't think that should be a reason for which he should come up, to speak out. That it should be because of a reason, there should be reasons for which you can come out to speak against wrongdoings, and not because you've been pushed away.
Away.
Because he's a senator. He's a senator. He runs his own affairs. He has the means of worrying about. So it's not someone now who is just seeking a position in government that will want to perhaps speak out because he's been pushed away. So I think perhaps his posture is a bit, welcoming in terms of speaking truth to power.
And you were talking about Martin being partial. All along during the campaign, I didn't consider Martin as an activist. I consider Martin as a politician.
Yeah.
Of course, he took a political role because, like you correctly said, as an activist, you have to be impartial.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to be impartial. But if you are kind of partial, or you affiliating with a political party or a part of a political party, that hampers your activism.
Yeah.
Because nobody going to trust what you're going to say. Everybody going to feel like everything you say, will be looked at differently from the other side. So if you say anything about governance, those from the ruling party, or that is, if you are in the opposition, those from the other side will think that you are a supporter of a certain political party, and that is why you are, making that statement. Everybody wouldn't take you seriously.
Yeah.
Only supporters of the party that you're affiliating with will take some of the things that you say seriously. So Martin publicly declared his support for the United Party during the election. I consider him as a politician during that time, and I still consider him as a politician until we can see how consistent he's going to be with what he's doing right now when it comes to criticizing this government and even the opposition currently, and other sectors of the country. So
and credit, like we're talking about the issue of activism, advocacy, and the civil society. We see the likes of Sentinel and Nemot.
Yeah,
those groups, they are consistent with advocacy. In the past, Sentinel will release accountability issues, transparency issue, with the past administration. This administration, they continue to do that. We see Nemot will raise the issue about monitoring the president's promises with the George Weah administration, with the Bwaka administration, they are doing the same. So that's what we call, consistency and pushing the interests of the public, of the Liberian people, and not being one-sided.
Yeah, but happy birthday, Martin.
Yeah.
We just decided to talk about you today a little bit
just to
because,
show, like,
today is a birthday. We'd like to say happy birthday, and happy birthday to all of our media colleagues who are celebrating their birthday today. Our own former colleague here, Aaron Kuban, is celebrating his birthday today. Yeah, my own man Pekele Guape. We come from way back in high school. Yeah, come from way back. The man Pekele has sat in class from 4th grade to 10th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pekele myself work at Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Guape. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day today. Let's go now to bring you the weather forecast. How the weather looks like today, according to Weather Atlas.
These days we have longer day.
Yeah,
longer
day, shorter night.
Yeah.
Today in Monrovia, short periods of light rainfall are anticipated in the afternoon. Minimal precipitation is expected, and the daytime temperature reaching up to a tropical 30 degrees Celsius and 86 degrees Fahrenheit will subtly contrast with a nighttime low of a warm 26 degrees Celsius and 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So the sun rose this morning at 6:26, and the sun will set later this evening at 6:54, and the daylight will last for 12 hours and 28 minutes. Meaning we are having longer days and shorter night. Yeah, I prefer I prefer the
longer nights.
Yeah, not the longer night. I prefer the longer days.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. It's probably just part of me when I go to sleep. I'm kind of yeah, I actually yearn for day to break sooner.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
great.
I actually yearn for day to break early. Whenever I go to sleep. So many times I'll wake up, sit up at night, and not just sleeping, and just
meaning you sleep very
hoping,
early.
Yeah, hoping that they can break early, so that we can set out on our journey again.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but again, that's it. We having a longer day of recent, so. That is good. You have more time to go about your normal activities.
Yeah.
But you need to be careful how you do them. And I like to commend the Liberian National Police. They are doing pretty well out there with the enforcement of this no-go zone policy.
Yeah.
With the motorcyclists. And majority of the motorcyclists tend to be complying, with that. And I think they are complying because the police themselves are working. So you see, if a policy is made or if a law is passed and approved and promulgated, all right, and it's not enforced, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
The enforcement of policies, the enforcement of laws are very important because that's the only way citizens will be afraid. If they don't see you set an example, if it's just on the bogus, if it's just theory, and there's no practical action being seen, everybody will feel that, there is no law, there is nothing, so nobody is going to abide by whatever policy. But you see, the enforcement of the no-go zone, of course, is compelling even those of them who don't want to comply. It is compelling them to comply because there are checkpoints all over the place that you cannot pass through easily, that you cannot violate easily. So that is why enforcement is very, very important. And I hope the LMP is going to be consistent because, trust me, the very day they will not, erect checkpoint at the current areas that you're erecting checkpoints right now. I mean, you're going to see the street flooded again with motorcycles that are not registered, that are not insured, that are not following the safety measures that were announced by the Liberian National Police. So they need to do more. I know probably this checkpoint erection may not take forever, but
At least for 3 months, they
yeah,
could
for
go for.
sometimes to
Yeah.
ensure that the motorcyclists are registered, their bikes are insured and everything. So once it's observed that majority of the motorcyclists have registered their bikes are insured, and they are following all of the safety measures, of course, the erection of checkpoints can be relaxed for a certain time, and the police observe when they again see a lot of violations, they come back. Yeah, so
and
that's how
and
it works.
and that's great. Like you said, it is good to commend them and hope some incentives will be added to what their work, especially those police officer. We know that at times they'll say, yeah, the people working here, but sometimes they go there, they have to have lunch, throughout the day, sitting over there and all of that. Hope they
Yeah.
can hope they can have.
No, I'm laughing because yesterday I was at one of the checkpoints, and there was a lady who passed in car. When she reached at the checkpoint, she slowed down and commended the police for the hard work, and she passed. So when she went, the police said, "Enter comment,
Yeah.
you can enter take you can be
Thank
30
you,
people."
guys. Yeah.
I told you can be started again. So I $10 or $20. Yeah, so I mean, the compensation is also important,
Yes.
because compensation serves as motivation,
Yeah. For them.
to keep on working hard and harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is also important.
And also, I listened to Senator Zoe Manuel Pena yesterday, where he made some donation, to the motorcyclists by giving them helmets.
Yeah.
So he was like saying today, because it is not campaign period, we are not around the election, so you won't have more politicians coming in
Of course.
to donate helmets. But if it was during the campaign period, you will have people here and there. And I think it is important, in as much as people might say, yes, the motorcyclists, they are making business, they can afford. There are other Liberians who can afford. Some politicians can try and bring some helmets for the motorcyclists, donate it to them, help them, to encourage them to be a part. And I like what he did, to encourage the motorcyclists. He gave the helmets and he encouraged them. He told them not to be deviant of government's mandate, not to follow those politicians who will be there to deceive them and tell them, say, oh, do not accept, resist government mandate. Because why? Those politicians are not in their interest. And if they are caught and they get beaten up, they having to get in prison, those politicians won't go to freedom, and
Sure.
they will be there to language in prison while they are thinking how their family will think how to get money. So he was encouraging them to do the right thing, not to
So
follow
I
politicians.
think I have an
because
excerpt here for him. So let's
Okay.
just play the excerpt, then we can talk more about some of the
Yes.
things that
Okay.
he made mention of yesterday.
When I spoke with you the last time on Saturday, I talked to you like a father, like a big brother, like a friend. I said to you, the policy of the government should be respected, right? Yes. Good. And I also said to you that now there's no campaign, no politics, nobody will help you, right? Yes. Very good. Yesterday, our government pronounced that every motorcycle in this, operator should get a driver lesson. It should be insured, right? Yes. The insurance is for you and myself. When your motorbike is insured, in case of any eventuality or accident, the insurance company will take that problem on your head. If you have your lesson, if someone car hit you, even if you wrong me or I wrong you, if I wrong you or you wrong me and I do not have a driver lesson, I am not an authorized driver. So automatically you are right because you have a lesson to fly the street. I see other politicians want to criticize it, but for me, I have children. Not because my son on motorbike today, I should tell them the wrong thing. So today, even though I'm not from Monserrado, I'm working in the country capital. My office in the country capital, which is Monrovia. I'm from Grand Chile. I'm elected by the people of Grand Chile County. I'm in the Landlord Senate. And I just said, most of you here, you're my sons, brothers. So we have to set an example.
Okay. So, His Emmanuel Penu, Senator of Grand Gila County, speaking when he donated 100 helmets to motorcyclists in the country, and that was very, very commendable on his part. At this time, I wish this no go zone policy had come just during the campaign era. The motorcyclists. I mean, no, probably no motorcyclists would have bought helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably no motorcyclists would have bought helmet by himself. Yeah, because there would have been a lot of donations. But it came at a time, when campaign activities are over, and so you don't see a lot of donation coming their way from politicians. Just a few of them, like Zoe Manapenu, and I think one or two I've heard about of recent, who are doing that for motorcyclists, and those are people who I think we regard. I don't want to say. I think they are politicians who cater to the needs of citizens, not just when they want their votes, but even when they are in the position, they still cater to their needs. And I think that was commendable. And he said something. He said, don't allow politicians to lie to you, to use you, to rebel or resist government's policy. You need to listen, and that's what has been happening. Some folks from the opposition, we got reliable information, have been, kind of inciting those motorcyclists to go and protest, not to comply with the regulation, the no-go policy, and all of that. But it was good that it came at a point where there was an understanding between the motorcyclists and the police, and I like the way it is going right now.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. That's good. And I like the part he said he lives his day. I think every day like is an election day, so it is important, because he was like saying all you will receive now from politicians as their theory. You won't see anybody applying to the means of saying, let me help you, let me bring helmets for you. Or they will tell you, they will use you to get a government to go and protest, to go and incite the violence or whatsoever to occur. And at the end of the day, they will leave you, and they're going to sleep in their air-conditioned houses.
Of course.
They're going to relax. Their children are abroad, and you are here in Liberia suffering. You are doing your business, and they tell you, say, when government say this, do not go by it, do not abide by government regulation. They are doing wrong to you. And I think that was a good message to have sent to the motorcyclists, for them to be aware that they need to be compliant with government mandates. They need to adhere to the policy and make sure that they can get what they want to get. And he told them, he said, when you pay a tax, the tax that you pay, that will help to develop the country. That will help for health supply. Yes, JFK now is crying crying that they need assistance. There were accidents that occur on the Kakata Memorial Highway. They don't have medical supplies and all of that. So if Liberians continue to comply in terms of paying their tax and all of those things, it help the government to operate.
Yeah.
I feel been joined by
Yeah, Chokon, welcome to the show.
Yes, Yegasid and Dennis, thank you so much. I came a little bit late because I had some breakdown. And
we're gonna
Money
break that.
man.
I see your face looking. I don't know, sweat up. Or what happening to you?
where you got swell
The man all slept. Or maybe somebody fought. I guess it's bad.
But it's a good thing, I listen to representative of District 10, he said the same thing, that he's gonna return to the country and gonna ensure that the motorcyclists will resist the police, the government mandates. It is not a good thing to listen to politicians who, because if it will continue on this path, the country will not go anywhere. How can a government institute policy that will benefit the country, and then the same people who were elected to protect the people come and undermine that? So the lawmaker from Grand Juliet County, they extremely well. I think the last time we were here, I said this is a time for politicians to make donations to the motorcyclists instead of inciting them to go on the streets. Just get the very requirements, and Dennis, it will shock you to know that almost 90% of the motorcyclists in Pinzo now they have a V mirror. I was shocked. I was just watching this morning. Even those who do not have the helmet, the registration, those who are running in the community, majority of those guys were able to manage to have the
view mirror,
which is the one of the simplest, requirements. But it's good. When Pro Loboma was here a few days ago, Dennis, he said, if an African nation would develop such as Liberia, politicians who come to power, they should not seek to undo, especially good policies what the previous administration did. And I was like, this guy is talking directly to Liberia. You're talking to Africa, but Liberia in particular, this is what we do in the country. This measure was here for the past, I think, 12 years on Malan Salif. The former President King, he removed the measure, and then now to reinstitute that becoming difficult. But had he, left that, it would have been okay. But now people will get accustomed to it, to know that motorcyclists should not be plying certain areas. In the government.
And even getting rampant with even keke, everything just
plying the streets. The only the executive mansion. Even I can recall when the measures were instituted for yellow taxi and motorcyclists to now ply the route of the executive mansion. There were people complaining. They were complaining. Motorcyclists were complaining. Why we have to go past, way to the police station and come on the side and all of that. But there should be some sanctity in the country. When you come to a country, you should know that you are in the country's capital. When you go to the village, you should know that you're in the village where there's smoke and all the things. You kind of moral like you way in your in my country.
I know your opinion,
it is good, and I think that that's commendable by Senator Penu, and also I want to see also some training workshop, be conducted for motorcyclists as well, because most often I really ride bike, I like it because it go faster, and then most of the motorcyclists.
So I think when you travel to America, you're looking for a bike.
No, I was riding car. I do ride car. I just said that sometimes I want to go faster. I take the motorbike, but I can use car. And in America, they had a scooter in Washington D.C. Yeah, they have it. I think when people want to go faster, you see, then they get on it. But what they do is that they use their credit card and they access it, and then they get on it. At some point in time, they reach certain place, they put it there.
That's what we're talking about. So if you want to go slow, you ride a normal
car and stuff. So I was on the weekend, I was on the motorbike, and one of the motorcyclists, whenever now I get on their bike, I see the person, if they don't have the motor, they don't have view mirror, I'll ask them, so when you get in your view mirror, when you get in your days, they will be laughing. So I was on the bike with another motorcyclist who had a view mirror, but he had a view mirror and he kept looking behind him. So I said, but what happening? Are you not using your view mirror?
So they are so accustomed to that.
So he said,
riding and looking
the
behind
view
them. So
mirror,
even if they have
or
view mirror, it doesn't feel like it's there.
yeah, the view mirror, or that view mirror, pieces. So I was like, it's like you don't even know how to use it. So I started educating him how to look in the view mirror and what to expect to know whether the car, is closer to you and all of that. So hope they can add that as well.
And I'd like to say good morning to Cherio Sege, the Chinese boy. He's there in Beijing. Hope you're having a wonderful time, Cherio. One of our former staffs. Cherio Sege. The man whole day
he's watching.
He take a picture of the Chinese guy. Yeah. Sege. Okay, so folks, that's it. Let's go over to the Ministry of Labor. They released a statement on yesterday, which we carried in our news. I hope I can get that statement this morning. The press release.
The work permits.
Yep. I think that okay. So it says Labor Minister urges citizens, alien workers to obtain or renew work permits or face tougher penalties. It says Labor Minister Councillor Kopo W. Kra is urging ECOWAS citizens working in the informal and formal labor sectors across the country to comply with government regulations requiring them to obtain or renew alien work permits annually or face tough actions for violation in keeping with standing Decent Work Act regulations. Minister Crab further re-echoed earlier calls on other alien workers hired by construction companies to meet up with their alien work permit requirements as stipulated by law or face the wrath of the Labor Ministry as teams of labor inspectors and alien work permit verification experts from the ministry will next week commence more vigorous field inspection and follow-ups with entities already covered by the exercise. A Labor Ministry press bulletin released quotes Labor Minister Kra as disclosing further that while government central tax collection entity, the LRA is targeting at least $1 billion United States dollars for vital public sector services this fiscal budgetary year, the Labor Ministry is aiming to net in over 10 million United States dollars as a substantial component to government domestic revenue grade, something which Minister Kra promised to achieve under the Think Liberia, Love Liberia, Build Liberia arrest agenda of President Joseph Yuma Boakai. So that's the release from the Labor Ministry. The minister calling or urging ECOWAS citizens and alien workers to be able to obtain, if they don't have, or renew, if the previous one has expired, their work permits. And this is very important. According to the ministry, they want to top up their contribution to the budget. Yeah. By 10,000, they want to increase their contribution to the budget to 10,000. The previous regime, contributed somewhere, not thousand, but million, 10 million. The previous regime contributed like 6 million, 7 million. So they want to top up that by 3 or 4 million, at least this budgetary year. So they are trying to exhaust all of the necessary means to ensure that they generate those revenues to be able to contribute to the national budget. And this issue of alien work permit is very important because you wouldn't just leave from here, you go Ghana, and you don't have work permit, and then people give you job. You wouldn't leave from here and you go Nigeria, you go Guinea, or other, surrounding African countries. You go there as a Liberian, and the people give you job. But in Liberia here, there are a lot of aliens in our country that are working without a work permit. They don't have work permit, but they are working in our country. Work that our people should be doing. I mean, it's not a bad thing, to hire aliens in the country, but you should be able to, abide or follow the legal procedure. What is required of you? If you should have a work permit, you should have it. If it expires and you need to go and have it renewed, then you need to have it renewed. And over the years, I don't think the Ministry of Labor, has been very rigid and vigorous about that. And so, because of the leniency, the reluctance of the Ministry of Labor to execute its duty or responsibility as it relates to ensuring that alien workers in the country, even the ECOWAS citizens, obtain work permit or renew their work permit regularly whenever they expire. A lot of aliens in this country, they've taken advantage of it, and even the employers, because if you as a citizen and an alien, you come to Liberia, and our law say you must have a work permit before you work in Liberia. Okay, and the law also applies to the employer. Before you employ anybody, any alien, they must show you a valid work permit before you employ them. So there are consequences for both parties, for the citizen if they violate, and of course for the employer if he or she violates. So I think this new labor ministry is taking a good step, and I hope this is not just going to be something that is not going to be lip service, where they just come up, release a press statement, and the minister come up and just make a statement. It's something that we want to see being executed. It's something that we want to see happening, because there are too many violations of that in this country, and we must work to see how best that can be curtailed. We're not against our brothers and sisters, but that is law. Even you go in their country, in their own country, the law is there and they are executing it. So why when they come in our own country, they don't want to execute it? It's only because our governments of the past have not been rigid. They have not been paying attention to that. That is why.
Yeah, which is true. Yeah, I guess most often you will listen to our people. People will fly into the country not only about having work permits but also jobs belonging to Liberians.
Yeah.
People finish slashing those jobs away. So it's a good thing that the revision and the authentication of the work permit of aliens and also other foreigners can be done, because the labor sector is challenged. You can see when you visit concession companies and see some of those jobs set aside, the Liberianization policy makes it clear about certain jobs belonging to Liberian. But it's surprising to note that many of these jobs have been taken away from Liberians, ordinary Liberians. You found out that as concession companies, people bring in women can in the country facing tire for cars, he cooking and doing those jobs, even in higher managerial positions. Like Liberians could occupy and even perform more than even those who are brought into the country. Not only that, he has also begun, I think, an assessment tour of concession companies, where they will be able to identify aliens and foreigners. If you do not have the requisite documents, you will have it. If you are doing work that Liberians supposed to do, definitely you will be removed from those jobs and maybe sent back to wherever you came from. So it's a good thing for the labor ministry, but on the all Yegazi and Dennis, the government had just started, and you note that many of the ministries and agencies and government institutions, they will be auxiliaries to announce policies and program. But in the next 10-15 days, many times you will notice that those announcements were just made for the public ears, but you can't realize anything. So it's a good thing for the labor ministry, and not only the labor ministry, but it also will help to generate revenue for the government and increase government revenue envelope.
Yeah.
So we should all applaud that. The system is being exploited, and they have a huge role to play to weed out those who are doing Liberian jobs. The law is clear about that. If you read the liberalization policy in 2010, it's clear about certain jobs, certain businesses that Liberians should be doing. We see aliens and foreigners now involved in opening shops, nightclubs, they're selling pinpoints and all of that. And I think the labor ministry has to make sure that certain jobs are protected under the law for our people.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, and like you said it right, they have to make sure that the laws are protected. Our people are protected under the laws of Liberia as it relates to who is employed and who run a business, because our alien nationality law and all of that has that stipulated within their chapter in terms of how people should go about. And we in the alien and nationality law, we know that chapter 3 talks about the penalties and all of that. And the issue with our country is the aspect of enforcing the law to ensure that it can affect the people, not just about just saying and talking. We realize that there are a lot of foreigners, in as much as they are our brothers and sisters from other countries, but they are in Liberia operating illegally, carrying on businesses. You have some of them taxi drivers, and as such that they even do their own thing in the traffic. They tell you how much to pay, what to pay, and how they go about. And all of those things is because there's no regulation. People carry on businesses and sometimes they don't pay. Sometimes you have allegedly some inspectors who will go at businesses and for their own gain, their own self-interest, not wanting to apply the law on those people who are violating, and at the end of the day have kickbacks and all of those things. So it is important. And I say for one fact, there are a lot of resources in this country. There are a lot of means of generating money, all because it is not being put into practice. People are not ensuring that they can collect the tax and all of those things. People just slide and go about doing their own thing, how they are not paying money into governments, covers government revenue. Government is not generating revenue because people are not collecting the tax rightfully. And you have people all around just doing their own thing. People just operate anyhow they want to operate, without being but without wondering how they are doing it. And like I was surprised, talking about we are talking about the issue of alien and work permits, but it have to do with the part of applying the law and how things go, the procedure. When I was in Kenya, right, when we went to change money at the Forest Bureau. So usually we are used to when you go to the money exchange bureau and then you have $5, as long the rate is 194, you are changing your money. You changing $5, they change it for 194. You changing $20, they change it for 194, and all of that. But I was surprised when we went there are rate for every bill. for each bill, the bigger bill.
Wow.
Yes, the bigger bill has the higher rate.
Yeah.
And the smaller one is still value.
So that is each of the denominations have their own bill, in fact, their own rate.
Yeah, if that $20,
yeah,
if that $100, the way you change it, they tell you to change $100. This is the rate to change $200, and even the dollar, as for the dollar part, I don't even have rate. So sometimes when we in like bro, we'll quarrel with the money exchanger and say, no, I got the rate at 200 now, so you should give me 200 and all of that. But it is just that they say this is like this. Even at the business or maybe the hotel or something, will tell you that it doesn't have value, so even change it. So these are things that we need to put into prospect when it comes to collecting revenue and things like that. There's more needs to be done when it comes to revenue generation. In as much as the labor ministry is talking about that has to do with revenue as well. There are landlords who are exploiting tenants. They put on high rental fees, and they don't pay tax to government.
Yeah.
They don't pay tax. Now you have like just simple 2-bedroom house. Sometimes that is not even worth. Someone will look at you and tell you pay $200 per month, pay $150, and they are not even paying money to government for their property, real estate tax. They are not paying nothing.
Yeah, sure.
So all of these things need to be put into perspective as to how revenue is generated, and especially with this work permit that people just go anyhow. You go into communities, people just open their businesses, they are making money. You see foreigners making money, without paying tax, without nothing, being accountable. So we hope that we know that this government is young, and everyone wants to prove point at this point in time. All of the ministries and agency, the officials are coming up with, some announcement, some regulation and all of that. But hope they can go along. We saw that in the past when the CDC administration took over Josephine Davis, the Inspectorate Division of Commerce.
Yeah, Commerce.
We saw how she was, around and talking, and it was like, the Ministry of Commerce is doing well. At the end of the day, what happened?
They didn't go nowhere.
They didn't go anywhere. And that's the situation with Liberia. 1 week fire. With that, after 1 week, everything cools down. So it is important that they can work on this and ensure that they can generate money for government.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. If and only if we as a country can be able to utilize all of the sources of revenue generation we have, I think our budget should be around somewhere 2 billion or 3 billion. If and only if we as a country can utilize all of the sources of revenue in this country. But unfortunately, that is not happening. And I hope as time goes by, the LRA will be able to expand its, various sources of revenue. There are several businesses in this country, Liberian business, non-Liberian businesses that are in this country. They're not paying taxes. You talk about the rent issue. That's a business that they're doing. They need to pay real estate tax, but they're done. So imagine if all of those in the issue of renting landlords, if they're paying taxes, how much the government will generate from that at the end of the month. That's a huge sum of money. So I think more needs to be done by the LRA and other revenue generating institutions like the labor ministry. This work permit issue, you need to take it seriously. And I trust the minister there, Councillor Kopokra, is a man of principles. And I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic that, he's going to perform in the new role that he has been placed in. I've been trying to get an excerpt here of him since I began the discussion. I think I have the excerpt here now. All right. So yes, the councillor speaking yesterday at a news conference.
Again, the reason for the past weeks, I have been talking about the need for people who are supposed to have work permit to get their work permit is because if you are an alien and you work in Liberia without a work permit, it's a violation of our law. So it's important for us to have this information to continue to go out. Take for example, if you are an employee and you accept a job knowing that you do not have a work permit, if we discover that, we will fine you $1,000 once you work in the formal sector. Besides the other 1,000 you need to pay for the work permit, and also the employer who employs somebody without work permit, that person will be fined also $2,000. That is very important, and now we have a period. And normally the work permit is obtained on the anniversary. In other words, if you took your work permit last year, if you were on in May 27, like today, that means you ought to have come today to renew your work permit. This is important. We are going to have our inspectors again on the field. We do not want to catch people unaware. That's why we continue to give this information. We also want to use the occasion to let our ECOWAS brother know. If you are for an ECOWAS member state here and you are doing your small business in Liberia, you are supposed to pay $100 for work permit once you are an ECOWAS member. That is reasonable. That is a reasonable amount. Do not wait for us to come to catch you before you pay. So there will be a special team for ECOWAS members in Liberia, so that we start from Monrovia and we'll have them to go out. The inspectors will be in uniform. There might be another minister working along with them. So we want everybody to cooperate. We have a target to meet, and we think with the cooperation of all of our partners, business partners, we will meet that target. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's Labor Minister Councillor Cooper Kral yesterday speaking at a press conference right here at his office, the Labor Ministry at the Ministerial Complex. So we now go to the lines to hear from you, our listeners and viewers. Call us on 0777 771 0777 771 0555 101075 0555 101075 0777 1075. And don't forget to play the Spoon 1075 Mega Daily Cash Splash. The dashboard has been open since this morning. So you can play by dialing the code *799#. You select number three for Spoon FM. You choose how to pay the playing fee, which is just 70 cents US or 100 Liberian dollars. So once you do that, you automatically get into the draw and you stand a chance to win 2,500 Liberian dollars, and 20 persons will be walking away with 2,500 Liberian dollars at the end of the show here this morning. Let's go to the line and talk to this first person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
My name is Albertino, where I'm calling from GSA 22nd Street.
Let's hear you, Albertino.
Yeah, my issue got to do with the labor ministry.
Okay.
I want to ask something about the labor ministry. If they get a rules that for high school students, people who do security job in the country, where the cost on them, how much they would make. I want to see in the country, people cannot do security where people any kind of money they want to pay. And they ask me they get up to feel college. And they need to come to this so people will know. You give me those security job, I benefit.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think that has to do with the minimum wage bill of the country. Let's talk to this other person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from.
Thank you, and I speak to you from Church, and good morning to our Liberian people. My name is Dr. Sagi Jim. You can say I listened to you this morning. That's why I let you listen to a patriotic citizen or patriotic journalist. But generally, you are a citizen and you have to be patriotic. You see, I listen to the minister. Right now, if all the foreigners say, "Oh, we don't want to be business in our country," there will be no, our economy will not grow. So the minister enforce it. If he making a little business, pay your tax so the government can use that money and some development. And you say, I really want for the government of Liberia to really visit some of the money company, our own, really struggling. We're suffering. They getting nothing for all our resources in the country. We just stuck in the country here, trying to pay tax to the government, trying to do nothing, working for the government. I heard the minister, what he's doing, I'll hold him by the word and I'll be listening to him, I'll monitor him. Let him move from speaker to speaker to speaker. So, if even you get a man right, you pay 30 hours, you pay 50 hours, that would be good. So we can build our country and no business I use as the president say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. 0777-771-075, 0555-101075 are the numbers to put you through. Call us and have your say on the show this morning. Good morning, your name and where you join us from. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, sir. Good
morning.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Baba Shamo, calling from Kadwa.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much for the topic on the discussion. You know, we tell the minister thank you for the step you want to take. But I will appeal to him because, like, bro, we have been suffering for the past years, decades of years, on labor functioning. When you get people working, your citizens working, you got to see the welfare of the citizens. But what we have been experiencing for the past years is that whenever they appoint a labor minister, when he comes to New you can want you all do something like that, you come to work. At the end of the day, everything dies down. Okay. So I am appealing to him. One thing he should do now is that all these companies and the Lebanese that Liberians are working under, the Lebanese always get a habit of using their citizens, the citizens of Liberia. When instead of them employing you, they can employ you. You will be there. When any inspector go there, they will only go in the offices and get their bar envelope. Then they get out, they go. When they're not able to meet up with the people, then they can come to the workers. They want to ask you this, ask you that. Whenever, as soon as they call them, they go in our office, they finish. Then you, the workers, they put you into a problem. Because when they ask you, you get some information, at the end of the day, the world will be at threat. So I appealing to the labor minister to please, he should not only sit in the office itself, he himself should take the survey all Liberia to see the welfare of the citizen. Because when the citizen getting good money, they will not think about government. The private sector is the private sector that can back up the government. When the private sector is not booming, the government suffer. Everybody, every citizen you see, they be crying the government this, the government that. Because when the labor ministry is functioning well, the government will relax. But when the labor ministry is not functioning well, they only get time for themselves. The government see the weight. So don't forget about our self-interest and put the country first and put our citizens first. Because only the citizen can develop this country.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
So, folks, you can call us on 0777-1075, 0555-101075. We have a caller here. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Nehemiah Tiffley, and I'm calling you from the Puebla Road.
Nehemiah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for your studio guest this morning.
No, we got studio guests.
Okay, the conversation this morning.
Okay.
Some of us are interested, and we really want the Liberian government to help the business people. You say the foreigners are in the business. Yes, it is true. Now, some of us in the business, but the foreigners are all lying our right. Some of them, we supposed to sell cement black. All of them selling cement black. The Indian people, the Chinese people get cement black. They sell black, they sell sand, they sell water. All those things for Liberian people will have no hope. I used to be in the West business before. Now I'm out of business. Because there is no support. There is no support. The business is big now. How will I pay tax to government when the place is closed?
So the Liberian people have to come back. Go back on their drawing book. Please, let us help the Liberian justice institution. Let Liba will come. Oh, yes. We are listening to Liba. We are the members of Liberian business administration. What makes them wicked? We want to care on their offer. We didn't get nothing. Everything we went to the office, we went to the ministry. That's a please.
Okay.
Please speak for us so that we can get help in our businesses.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. 077771075 0001075 are the numbers to put it through. You are listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, and we're coming to you via our various social media platforms, Spoon TV Live and Fabric, our YouTube channel. We're now live on Super TV at the Fabric TV. Of recent, due to technical problem, which has been resolved by our technicians. Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
Well, good morning. This is ADP calling from Masadi.
Let's hear you from Masadi.
Yes, we want to give a dev announcement, but we don't know how much it costs.
So come at the office. Yeah, come at Spoon office. Thank you. All right. Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
This is Tumanti calling from Page 15.
Okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I don't want to appreciate this morning on a topic discussion. And we really thought that, what I want for you to try your best and invite the Labour Minister so at least we can really put question to him.
Okay.
And I was working with the fishing company, the Chinese company. And
what's the name of the Chinese company? What's the name of the company? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they ran around looking at market here. I don't know what that is. When I see all the vessel, we should have, massive doctor that will take care of the sailor who do the fishing. But nothing like that when we talk. Even the Chinese, they don't even know how to speak English or just how to even communicate with them. They that kind of say, but we're not doing anything. We're not speaking English, but we're making money. Even my one side, they pay all you here. They will use that, even if we got sick, there's no way they can bring you on show while you take your treatment. So, I don't know who get really good and regularize the salary all foreign on that way in Liberia. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, my name is Michael B. Sua calling from Catholic Junction.
Michael Sua, let's hear you.
Yeah, for the work permit issue, yeah, we are happy to hear about the work permit. But one of the things we are asking our labor minister to work on is the employment.
Okay.
Customers who are working to the supermarket, the fresh supermarket, we have made 5-7 years. We haven't been employed. Yes.
Okay.
5, 7, 8 years, some of us we haven't been employed. Although now we stayed contractor.
But it depends how you went there now. It depends what was the agreement as per your work, whether you went your contract, whether you went on contractual basis.
What was the agreement of a contract?
I said it depends how you were employed, whether it was contractual basis that you went there.
I don't know.
Okay, we lost him. He went off the line. Yeah, but folks, you are listening to the Today Show. Don't forget to place in your bet, as others may call it. But it's the Spoon 107.5 Mega Daily Cash Pledge is on. 20 persons will be walking away with 2,500 Liberian dollars on the show here at 9:55. So to be a part of the draw, all you need to do is to dial the playing code *799#. Select number 2. That's number 3. Sorry, select number 3 for Spoon FM. Choose how to pay the playing fee is 70 cents US or 100 Liberian dollars. And once you do that, you automatically enter the draw and you stand a chance to win 2,000 500 Liberian dollars. 20 persons will be walking away with that at 9:55 on the show this morning. So we take a very quick break. When we come back, we discuss other issues. The University of Liberia just released results of entrance recently taken, and the result is very, very appalling. It's very, very worrisome, for our young people. I'm understanding that over 8,000 students wrote the test, the entrance exams, and there's a little over 2,000 passed the exams. That is worrisome. We talk about that when we come back. Plus, other issues in Nimba County, Ganta specifically. There was what appears to be like a grenade, an unexploded grenade in a dump sack, exploded when a man believed to be in his 30s went there scavenging the dump site and took what appeared to be a grenade, tried to unfix it, open it, and it exploded. And our understanding is that it killed him immediately. It killed him instantly after the explosion. So we bring you information on that from Gompa City, Nimba County, when we hope to place call to our correspondent there. So that's it. We take a short break to be back. But in the meantime, between time, don't forget to play the radio game. You just dial the playing code *799#. You select number 3 for Spoon FM. You choose how to pay the playing fee, and the playing fee is 70 cents US, 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, you automatically enter the draw, and you stand a chance to be one of our winners here. Let's take this commercial break to be back with you.
Blue Crest Liberia, your gateway to mastering computer fundamentals, advanced Excel tools and techniques, and database management system and training. With our high-tech classrooms, you will gain practical knowledge every step of the way. At Blue Crest, we offer BSc IT, BBA, and MSc IT. We render training for corporate institutions. At Blue Crest Liberia, we are a school with creative minds driven by innovation and excellence. Enroll in our fashion and graphics design school today and let the professionals guide your journey from sketching your first design to mastering the latest digital tools. A hub of innovation and learning where students become tomorrow's tech leaders starts here. From cybersecurity, artificial intelligence to data analytics, we are your professionals' hope. Whether you are pursuing a career in software development, network engineering, or digital marketing, fashion, and graphics design, Blue Crest Liberia is your gateway to success. Enroll today at Blue Crest. Call 0888-999-444 or 0770-999-444 for more information, or walk into our campus located at Congo Town opposite CDC headquarters. Blue Crest Liberia, where innovation meets education.
What makes a celebration? A party in every interaction just right? Club beer, brewed with the finest ingredients, made fresh daily for a real man and that special lady with class and sophistication. Club beer, so pure you can taste it, so good you just have to have it. What are you waiting for? Make the right choice, because being wrong just doesn't make sense. Choose Club Beer, the right beer for the real beer drinker. Fresh, smooth, and satisfying. Club Beer, made just for you. Drink responsibly for 18 years and above.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Today Show right here on your favorite dials 107.5 FM and 101.5 Fabric and Spoon. So, welcome back. The Today Show. My name is Yekezi Zobel. I'm here with Chokon Flaman and Dennis Nipsey. And we are back to talk about this issue at the University of Liberia, where students failed massively in the entrance examination. But just before talking about that, let's bring you this quick release from the executive mansion. It says President Bouaka nominates and appoints additional members of government. May 28, 2024, Executive Mansion, Monrovia. His Excellency Joseph Yuma Bouaka Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, has nominated and appointed additional members of government affecting the National Security Agency, the Environmental Protection Agency, Booker Washington Institute, Habel College, and the Office of the President. He has also appointed senior, junior, and local aide de camps. These appointments were applicable as subject to confirmation by the Liberian Senate. The institutions and those appointed and nominated are at the National Security Agency. Stephen B. Dolo was appointed Deputy Minister for Operations. Mark Alien Amlat, Deputy Director for Special Services. Dr. Mulai Siaple, Deputy Director for Research and Analysis. Nelson A. Wolo, Assistant Director for Operations. Status Yankun Senior, Assistant Director for Field Services. Basiru M. Soni, Assistant Director for External Offices. Ernest T. Tape, Assistant Director for Special Services. And blah, 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 blah. Go there. The names are there. It's several appointments. We can't go through everything here because of time, but the release is on the Executive Mansion page. Several appointments have been done, and these appointments affect the National Security Agency, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Booker Washington Institute, Habel College, and of course the Office of the President. So you can read that release from the Executive Mansion page. So now, of recent, the University of Liberia releases entrance results, and there was massive failure. You know, the University of Liberia is a state-run university, and is a university in the country that accommodates a lot of our young people. So when there's an issue of massive failure coming from entrance exams at the university, it sends shockwaves out there, you know, among parents, and not only parents but Liberians at large. It makes people to tend to question what folks at our secondary institutions are doing, what kind of education they are inculcating into our young people that it will go to take, you know, an entrance at the University of Liberia, and they fail massively. But I think Dennis has been following the results or the release from the UL.
Yeah, this one says the University of Liberia UL has. So okay, I'm on now. The University of Liberia UL has released the results for the 2023 second entrance and placement exams and aptitude tests. A total of 10,034 candidates registered for the 2023 second entrance for undergraduate colleges, including David Star St. J. Overall, 2,699 candidates were successful, constituting a passing rate of 28.32%. That's it.
Yeah.
So
So
10,034
10,034 candidates registered
2,000
for the
699.
2023 second entrance for undergraduate colleges, including the David Star St. J.
Yeah.
And overall, 2,699 candidates were successful. So that means majority of the candidates who wrote the exams were not successful.
Yeah.
So if you subtract 2,699 from 10,023, so 7,324 candidates failed in the test in the UL entrance examination. 10,000 candidates, 10,034 students, high school students, sat the UL entrance, and only 2,699 passed, and 7,324 candidates or high school students who sat the UL entrance examination flunked. They failed flat. They were not able to make it at the University of Liberia. And this calls for concern. This calls for serious concern. What is happening at the level of our secondary institution? What level of preparation are they, are students going through? Or how are students serious when it comes to, because this issue of education is something that you cannot just blame on one person, because number one, the students need to be willing to learn, because I don't care who you are, I don't care how professional you are as an instructor. You can be an instructor with a PhD. You know, once you are teaching a student, you may simplify the lesson, you know, to the lowest or to the understanding of the student. But once the student is not willing to learn, it becomes a problem. The student will not pay attention, or once they don't have interest in that particular lesson, they wouldn't, you know, take in the lesson, they wouldn't understand the lesson, they wouldn't go home, sit down to study the lesson. They wouldn't do that. So number one, the students have to be willing to learn. And also, sometimes it could be a problem from the angle of the teachers, of the angle of the institution at large, or from the Ministry of Education, which is the regulatory body for the education sector of the country. Whether the right lessons are being taught the students, whether the teachers that are teaching the students are trained enough, whether they are professional teachers, whether they are qualified, whether they are competent, whether those are not just people who are, you know, a high school graduate, or who just maybe come from the university and then you push them in the classroom to teach, because we are seeing that a lot. Yes, you may be competent in a certain area, or you may be a university graduate, but teaching is a profession by itself, where you have to be trained. You have to be trained on how you plan lesson, how you present the lesson for the understanding of the students. Mm-hmm. So what is happening that our students flunk massively in the University of Liberia's entrance exam? This happened, it was a part of 2013, right? So 2013, 2014.
System.
Yeah, when the university administered examinations, and just a few persons, less than 500 You have over 12, 13, 14,000 students who sat that examination that year. And majority flunked again. And that was a cause for concern. And it's happening again. Yes, the passing number is a bit higher compared to, the past, compared to 2013, 2014. But it's still cause for concern. Why are the students failing massively? Yeah. Why are they failing massively?
Yeah.
Is the problem from the teachers? Is the problem from the administration or from the various secondary institutions in the country? Is the problem from the students? Is the problem from the education sector, the regulatory body of the education sector, the Ministry of Education? What is the problem?
Yeah, Casey, like you put it right. It is important to focus on the education of the students, especially from high school onwards to the university. It is important. It's also important to encourage students in terms of studying their lesson, putting more time and effort, to the studies. These days, there are some people go to school, they don't pay more attention to their lesson, how they go about making their grades and all of that. So it is important. But what I first would like to know, and that would be done if we have had word from the University of Liberia. First I would like to know what is the target, or what's the target for the university in terms of the number that they were expecting to, give admission to.
Okay.
So I said this to say that you realize that the University of Liberia, at times, there will be needed, maybe, for example, now 5,000 students and administer exam to 20,000. So you realize that if you have gotten your 5,000, the 15 others will be considered as what? Failure. So it is important as well that the university should be clear in these exams. If you need perhaps 5,000 students to take your exam, at least administer the exam to like 2,005, then you will know the extent of which people are failing. But you can just leave it open and everybody go and take the test. At the end of the day, we hear that there are a lot of failure, no good result and all of that. So by UNE coming up with this release that is just maybe a summary, I would like to see a detailed release from the University of Liberia telling the public that we expected 10,000 students. We gave the exam because now, okay, let's say they are saying 20,000. We expected to have maybe 15,000 students for admission. And now we give the exam to 20,000 and this passed. We haven't reached our target of this amount that we needed. So we realized that there's massive failure, or a lot of students, didn't make it to the exam, wasn't successful in the exam. So if we have the detailed analysis of their release, then now we can determine whether there's mass failure or not. Because mind you, now
there's mass failure.
The university, yes,
as per the result.
But the university too is also using this as a means to get funds.
Okay.
To generate money. So they go about telling people pay fees.
So
and people go and register.
Are you saying that the universities? The University of Liberia registered 10,023 students, and they were only looking for 2,699 students. And so even if the rest of the students, pass the benchmark, that is, if they are considered pass, they wouldn't consider them pass because they have already gotten the number of students or the number of candidates that they needed to enroll at the university. Is that what you're saying?
So that's the entire analogy I'm trying to put forth in terms of saying that the University of Liberia, I won't be sure to say they needed this, right? But I'm giving this scenario that, take for instance, the university is expecting to admit 15,000 students, and they give exam, or let's say 10,000 students, and they give exam to 20,000, but their target is 10, right? Okay. And you realize that they have gotten their target or close to their target, and just few people fail. And because we don't know the amount of students that they want to admit at the university, so coming up with a release and say we gave exam to 20,000 and 10,000, right? Also, and then 2,000 pass. There should be detailed explanation given
about how many students they wanted
yes,
to admit.
Yes, at this point in time,
you know, the next academic or the next semester.
Yes, and then you have this, because in time past there's massive failure at the University of Liberia. People took exam, but we don't know how many students the University of Liberia needed at that time to admit at the university, because they do this, they generate fund. All of the students that pay the money, they won't refund the money. They will take the money.
But don't you think, for example, if the university wants to admit let's say 2,000 students next semester, and they administer an entrance examination during the registration, you have 5,000 people registering.
Yeah.
Okay. So now after the entrance, if you have 4,000 candidates passing the entrance,
yeah.
I mean,
that's progress.
Yes, that is progress.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think I don't want to think that the university will only, want to pass, or they will want to fill students because they have reached their target. That is, they were looking for 2,000 students, right, to admit.
Yeah.
And because during the correction of the papers, they observed that they have already gotten the number of students to admit, at the University of Liberia. So the rest of the students, they consider them failed. I don't want to think they will do that.
So I'm saying,
there's another option. So if you get your target of admission and other students pass, you just release the results. Now, during the admission process, when the students who pass are coming to register, so first come, first serve. So once you get their first target of 2,000 students for admission for that particular semester, then they tell the other students who will come later on to wait to, get admitted.
This is that is what I'm saying now. This is where the entire detailing of the record comes in, because if you have this detailed plan, people will get to know that perhaps there were 10 other or 20,000. No, let me put it like 1,000 students who were successful as well, even though the university exceeded the amount they needed. And those students perhaps could be given chance. But the entire thing too is done with the sole purpose of fundraising, of generating funding. So even if there's possibility of some progress by other students who may have been a little bit successful, that won't be detailed. That won't be told within their reports.
One may say, this process is open. Because a university wants a competitive process, don't want to deny other students, the opportunity to write their entrance. Because once you say that, you're targeting this amount of students or this number of students to write the entrance, once you reach that target, others who may be willing to write the entrance that semester and don't have their entrance fees timely to go in and register, and then they have their fees later to go in and register, they will be denied once the university, reaches that target. So that is why they left it open, so that, somebody from Zogo, from Butuo, who will have the money later, will come and, will have the opportunity to write the test, and if they can pass, so that
I know Choco wants to come in, but I want to also know
they can have the opportunity.
What happens if the university administer the entrance to 20,000 students and all 20,000 passed?
All right. So
I don't think it's possible, but it's a
I mean,
two-way
yeah,
street.
it's just a hypothetical.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
The
So
students and also the universities.
so it's either if going by a question to answer your question. So I think the options could be if you administer entrance to 20,000 students and all 20,000 pass, and you only need 10,000 to admit for that particular semester. So you release all the 20,000 results, and for the following semester, you're going to be registering students at the university based on first come first serve. So if 20,000 students pass, the first 10, and they need to admit 10,000, the first 10,000 who will come to register for that semester are the first 10,000 students that will be admitted. The rest of them who will come later, they are late. Okay. They will have the option to register the following semester.
Let's hear from Chokan.
Yeah, Chokan.
No, but like I said, it's a two-way street where the students are also the whole part of that responsibility. I can recall it was 1 year.
It was 2013, 2014.
Okay, where the entire all the people who applied for the entrance who wrote the test failed, and there was a particular student that challenged the test. At the end of the day, it was proven that he passed the test. So again, it's on the side of the student and on the side of the university. These entrances at the University of Liberia are also intended to generate money for operations and other activities for the University of Liberia. So again, you cannot deny people to set a target that you want 5,000 people. You cannot deny it. It doesn't happen anywhere.
No, I'm not saying they should deny. I said their release should be detailed for us to know whether there's mass failure that they expected to admit at this point in time. This number of students, and they got this who passed, and then we can determine that.
And once the University of Liberia will admit people based on the capacity. Based on the capacity that they have to hold students for the next semester. So even if they leave the window, the registration, the entrance registration window opens for the next 2-3 months, the number of people that will register, they will say they exempt, but it is not possible.
Not everybody who pass will enter the next semester.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people will enter after maybe one semester.
No, it's not like that. As long you
that's
pass,
how it is.
That's how it is.
As long you pass, as long you pass, and you can go on with your process, you can enter. It left for you.
But that's what I'm saying. So you can enter. You got 2 semesters once you pass the entrance. 2 semesters to enter.
I know. It is not about what I'm saying now. The point you're making is not about the university to tell you that because everyone passed, so we'll have time for people to enter. As long as you pass the exam, you go through your process, you start your class.
Of course.
But if you delay with your process,
that's what I'm saying.
The point here I'm making here is that there should be detailed analysis of their entrance results, like the way they have the release. Tell us that we have 10,000 pass the exam, in as much as at this point in time, this period, we were anticipating 2,000 students were made them this particular semester. Through the entrance, we see that this amount of people pass and this amount of people fail. Then we can determine whether there's mass failure or not. That's my point.
Anyway, that's it. But let's try to get a few calls before we go home. Don't forget to play the radio game. It's on *79# *79# is the code. It's elect number 3 for Spoon FM. Pay the playing fee is 70 cents USD or $100 Liberian dollars, and you automatically enter the draw. And you can only play the game using your Non-Star Cell GSM SIM card. So play, and you stand a chance to win 2,500 Liberian dollars at a few minutes from now. Let's go to the lines. The lines are buzzing here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
This is Matthew Green. I'm calling from Johnsonville.
Okay, let's hear you, Matthew.
Yeah, the lady in the session there statement is absurd. It is unreasonable and unacceptable. How can you say the university is bringing more students to raise money to run the office? That kind of statement is insightful.
It's not insightful.
Allow me to talk. Allow me to talk. I call you.
I'm a product of the University of Liberia. Hello?
I'm a Liberian, a benefit Liberia. The last time you asked me the same question whether I'm a Liberian or not, which was not relevant. You are talking about Liberia. Your statement you made in that studio is insightful, unacceptable, and unreasonable. How can you say the university
you can disagree with what, bro? I don't see any incitement.
Come on, man.
Incitement for what?
Good morning. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, good morning.
Insightful.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Joe, and I'm calling from Yellow District 6.
Okay.
You know, Yellow is so starting for our educational system. University of Liberia is a higher institution of learning. And the issue of students taking the university entrance for entrance in the university, I think the University of Liberia have that benchmark. That students who sat for the exam need to score certain mark before they can enter the University of Liberia. And there is not about raising money, though most institutions use the entrance to raise money. But let me come to this. Our educational system, most especially primary education, need to be looked at thoroughly. Once our primary education is looked at thoroughly, we will have a brilliant students. So I don't want there to be blamed to our secondary education. Once the foundation of anything is not concrete, once you raise that thing up, now it will never be guaranteed.
Thank you, Jonathan. Others are on the line. Call us on 0777 771 075 101075. Call us and have your say about our discussion, ongoing discussion about massive failure in the University of Liberia's entrance examination. Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from?
Good morning.
Welcome. Let's hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Lawrence Wadeki. I'm calling from number this morning.
Okay.
And the issue I want to speak to this morning is that, for me, I see the university matters. Tell the number of students the university wants each semester in order to offer interest.
Okay.
So it means that when you have 10,000 students, then you have the interest. So I think they need to be fixed with the amount they will need. But another issue I want to register is that I've written my thoughts saying the government came to power. It's an open letter, but I want to be, I try to find a way to get to you guys, but I can't have opportunity. Every time I call, my call don't go through.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how can I get to you so that you can
you get out of the office, you're farming.
I went there the other time and they said only now you guys can go there.
No, I'm not here only in the night. I'm here currently. So right after you're gonna see me. A few minutes from now, I'm gonna be out.
I will see you.
I mean, I'm on the show every morning. So right after the show ends at 10 o'clock. So once you come here at 10:05, 10:15, you're gonna see me. Thank you. Let's talk to the last person. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from? Good morning. Oh my God, this person is not ready. Let's talk to another person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, let me say good morning to our colleagues. Powerful government. Now, Major Boy, I was speaking to
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm welcome to tell you channel for the fire people. You know, it's this country, the education system in this country. This country, everything broken down, my brother. People want to see the children go to school, the children to see them market back to it. They can't stick to the scare the police trying to spoil way for this tomorrow. I mean, it's what you see all the nation pass. What are you going to do? What a moment. Everybody out there, people coming in, get you in. What are you going to do? I was shocked. They're going to go to school. You're not going to get in out here. I'm going to school.
Thank you. We have to go, folks. So it's been a wonderful time here. Thanks to all of you for your listening role. Thanks for making your contributions on the show. Those of you who play the radio game, start checking your messages. I've joined the winners already. So congratulations if you win. If you didn't win, well, join us here tomorrow. We'll be here again with another Spoon 107.5 Mega Daily Cash Splash. It's been a wonderful time here. My name is Yekezi Zobe. I've been here alongside Dennis and Choco. Anything before we leave?
Yeah, just to leave, there have been the issue about questioning the entire situation as it relates to the 285 machines pronouncement that was made by government, and like too many they're coming in claims and counterclaims. So we hope today is expected that the Ministry of Information will address that. The Minister of Information, Jerry Limepia. So we hope to hear the actual, story about that. And yes, it's good to be on the program. We live in. We'd like to say thanks to all our viewers and those who follow us. Do join us tomorrow, Wednesday, for our edition.
Choco, why you come with flashes at the end of the series?
I know, remember all that.
That's a good thing. I want to say happy birthday to a brother, Aaron Kuban.
You late. We finished saying that
on the today, and also my brother, Pekka Boapi.
James Carrero
and
Ada Reese.
Ada Reese also. Yeah. So let us say happy birthday to Amida Kobe.
They're making little church.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, so folks, that's it. Coming up next is news summary from our news and current affairs department. Bye-bye.